a man whose organization will raise the second banner in their tenure this evening at the Boston Garden, Wyc Grousbeck. Hey, Wyc.
Hillman, how we doing?
Great. How are you?
You got Ty Law in the house, a great Michigan Wolverine?
Yes, he is.
What's going on, Wyc?
Ty
What's
is,
going on, Wyc? How you doing, bro?
Ty is in the house. I think.
I remember you well, Ty. Your 3 World Super Bowls and Hall of Fame and all that. It's unbelievable to talk to you, man.
Oh, man, good. Hey, man, congratulations to you, man. You guys doing the damn thing. Y'all kicking it off tonight, right?
Yeah, we're not just talking about it. We're doing it.
All right.
In fact, I think Ty has
a lot. I've done a lot of talking about it over the last 20 years. It's good to get another banner.
Oh, yeah.
Ty actually has Wiggy seats for tonight.
Well, Ty is ahead of me, so you know what? Hey, I don't mind taking a back seat.
We were before we get into this season and all that stuff, we were just talking about the Bill Russell Bridge dedication ceremony yesterday, and you were there. Yeah. What a really cool honor for Bill Russell.
It was perfect, or so good, and everybody who spoke talked about Bill being a bridge. Okay, he bridged and taught people and brought knowledge and insight and wisdom, and everything about him was magical and the best ever. And it's a really nice. It really feels like a perfect honor for him.
Wyc, I mean, obviously, great season last year, but now as fans, we start to talk about repeat. And Mazzulla talked about the pressure, not from the outside, but from the guys in that locker room putting on themselves to be great and do it again. What have you seen with some of these guys and just, them, wanting to take it to a whole nother level?
It's true, Wiggy. It felt like after last season with the loss in Game 7 to the Heat, it felt like we were driven and annoyed and focused and all the words, but it also felt a little sheepish, like we were down 0-3, we came back, we lost, well, there was a twisted ankle. It just didn't feel, but this is like guys completely on a mission and more confident guys on a mission. I don't know what's going to happen. We got some great teams ahead of us or with us. We got one tonight with the Knicks. I don't know what's going to happen. But Jalen and Jason and Pritchard and Horford and everybody are laser focused. And Porzingis looks pretty good in practice. So I'm hoping we can get off to a good start this season.
Jason Tatum entering his 8th season in Boston. And he told Mark Spears this week that he can't imagine leaving this city ever and starting over somewhere else. So it sounds like he's a Celtic for life, Wyc.
I mean, that's what we want. We just signed him to the Supermax, of course, and we want guys of his character and his talent and his skills. And he's grown every year. Jalen has grown every year. They've grown together, and they make everybody else better. And he's just a cornerstone of this. And he is so happy. I asked him the other day, what are your memories of the championship and everything? He goes, the parade was literally the best day of my life. Jalen said the exact same thing. It's not the actual championship game. It was the parade. And people, and they haven't seen anything until they see tonight. Tonight's going to be amazing as well. So these guys are the real deal, and we're really lucky to have them as Celtics.
Wyc, when you talk about the feel of them coming into this season and how excited they are and how fired up they are, do you think that that's coming from the national media and their response to how they won the championship last year, or the Olympics and Jalen not getting the nod going to Paris? You must be so proud of the way in which these guys have responded to any type of criticism when they're at the highest of highs.
It makes it all the sweeter. I have some brief remarks tonight, and I am going to touch on the topic a little bit in a positive. Applying fuel from the fire out there. And back in 2008, in 2007, we had a rough year, and people were saying fire Doc and fire Danny, and I'm like, I'm not firing Doc, I'm not firing Danny, so deal with it. And it made it sweeter to win. We don't do everything right. I don't make every right decision. The Celtics don't do everything right, but it is really sweet when you've overcome the naysayers and gotten to the top of the mountain.
And this, unlike 2008, Wyc, this feels like the start of something. Obviously, it's years 5 or 6, but it feels like the beginning of a run where you have these incredibly talented players, a young coach, a young exec on the precipice of potentially something great?
Well, it feels like that. It's, and then '08, '09 was probably our best team. Started 27-2, I believe. Coming off of a championship, we started 27-2, and then we had a couple injuries. Then we got to the finals in 10, so we had a run there, but only one trophy. And so I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to say anything about it other than it feels great. Look, we brought everybody back, the top 8. Then we brought the top 8 guys back from a truly, actually, like a historically notable team, like one of the better teams or best teams that's ever been assembled in the NBA. Statistically, the number one offense of all time in the NBA, to name one attribute. 37-4 at home, 16-3 in the playoffs, and banner 18 in the rafters. We'll take that and move forward with excitement about this next season.
Wiggy talks all the time about Joe Mazzulla being the best coach in the NBA, and then he gets overlooked at times when it comes to honors that are given.
Guys, you there?
Yeah, can you hear us? Did we lose you, Wick? Hello? Oh,
Is he there?
I don't know.
Oh, man.
We may have lost him.
I hear him.
Wait, are you back, Wick?
I'm back now. I lost you. For some reason, I had to turn off my Wi-Fi or something. So
okay.
Can you say that again?
Yeah, Wiggy talks all the time about Joe Mazzulla being the best coach in the NBA, and yet he is sometimes overlooked when it comes to the awards, national awards. What is it? Why do you think he's overlooked when it comes to some the GMs or owners in this league?
Well, I don't know. I mean, Brad luckily didn't overlook him when he promoted. I mean, it was completely Brad's recommendation and decision to promote Joe to coach, which was brilliant. I would say the first year, honestly, we had ups and downs, and we grew into it. I mean, he was thrown into the fire with like one day before training camp, I think, and was interim, and then we made him permanent because he earned that. We had the best record in the league at the time. But we didn't take it all the way. It might have been some growing pains or ups and downs in the first year. He really grew into it last year, and he seems to be on a whole nother level this year. With the quotes yesterday and everything else, like he's just getting started. So let's see what Joe has for us. But I personally think he's, one of the very best coaches or the best I've ever met. He took these guys and then turned them into a Navy SEAL team, and they were ready for it. They've got they're Navy SEALs at heart. But and I don't want to disrespect actual Navy SEALs because we are not Navy SEAls, but that mentality, Joe has that mentality, and we try to have that mentality, and that's part of the secret sauce that got us banner 18.
Wick, isn't one of the hardest things to do for a coach in the NBA? I know it's a little different in football. Ty and I played with Belichick, but isn't one of the hardest things to do is to get, especially your superstars to buy in? And that's where I think Mazzulla does a great job with his uniqueness on getting those guys, not just the superstars, but the rest of the team to buy into their roles.
Yeah, he does. I mean, you guys being pro athletes would have, and champions would be, you would have a better perspective of it. But from my standpoint, Joe just connects with you. Okay, he's about you, and he's about, I love you. I want you to be your best. And I'll do anything I can to achieve that. Like he's got this magnetism to him, and it's very authentic. It's completely authentic. So that's probably a different style than some of the other coaches out there. It's probably not, the Red Auerbach style of coaching or Vince Lombardi or who knows. It's Joe. It's unique, and it really has connected with our guys. And they would do anything for Joe, and that's what you want with a player-coach relationship.
I'm sure you're sworn to secrecy, but what can you tell us about the rings?
The rings are in the safe in the office, and basically nobody has seen them. But they are massive. I will say that would be a word, and we'll go from there.
How does that maybe take us at how does that get who designs that? Is it a bunch of you guys? How does that? And do you look at other rings and you want to outdo other, how does that work?
There was a very small crew, but the heart of the crew, Amelia and I, actually kind of sat down and looked through the offerings from the different jewelers who made proposals and did the rings that they had done in the past. And we went with Jason of Beverly Hills, a spectacular person and a great company, and they've done a bunch of the previous rings in the NFL and NBA and Major League Baseball and hockey. So they're on a roll, and we are very happy with our collaboration with them. We had a couple people from the Celtics organization. There were probably 4 of us that worked on the ring, and got a little bit of input stylistically from a couple of players. But really, the players didn't want to have any input. They want to be completely surprised tonight, and they are going to be completely surprised they have not seen the ring.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's the difference between us. We give us a chance to design it. We want to see. But I got a question for you, Wyc. Is it this new thing going on? Could you at least tell us if the ring is a 2-piecer? Because now, like, we didn't have those, Wiggy, but now
when
the top comes off,
like the top come off and they switch around. They got like mechanics in them now.
And they can make like a necklace with it, right?
Yeah. So is it one of those type of rings, or you got to keep that secret too?
Well, I don't know. Maybe when Wiggy gets his ring, you can.
All right.
Well, don't say that. He'll hold you.
Sorry, Wiggy. I'm sorry.
That's
sorry,
all.
man.
It's all good.
No, I don't have any further comment on if it's 1 or 2. I know if you drop it, it will be multiple pieces because the thing weighs a lot. But that's all I have to say about the piece.
Okay. All right.
We're looking forward to seeing it tonight.
I'm assuming some surprises in addition to the rings tonight for those who are lucky enough to be in the building.
Well, I think the rings and the banner are probably the centerpiece of everything. I don't know what I mean. There's no flyover. There's a roof on the garden. So other than that, I would love to have something like stealth bombers, flying over, but we don't have those.
Special guests, halftime show, performers, anything like that?
Are you gonna? Hey, are you gonna? By the way, the tip-off gala on Friday was a great event to raise money for the Shamrock Foundation. Are you gonna wear the tie that you wore Friday night? There's a great story about that tie, which you told that you could tell this morning, Wyc.
All right. Well, I was wearing a tie from 1986, and it was handed to me by Red Auerbach. Red gave me and Steve Paliuka a couple of ties when we met him back in 03 or 02, it even was. And he said this, and the one he happened to give me was an 86 championship tie from that team, that Larry Bird team. And he said, I hope you get your own someday, but this one for now, this is going to have to do. And he gives me this tie. I hope it brings you good luck, kid. And because I was a kid at the time, I was 41. Yeah. And so I wore that. I only wear that tie very rarely. You got to win a championship to wear that tie. So it didn't feel right to wear it. But we'll see tonight. People aren't not usually that curious about my outfit. So I don't even know how to answer the question of what I'm wearing tonight.
You probably ought to light up a cigar tonight, maybe in honor of Red.
Probably ought to light up. You guys have lots of ideas. Why don't you guys win a ring, and then you can design it.
We need to be part of the Celtics in front office in some way.
Okay, Wiggy, we understand.
We are making over 300 rings. That is true. There are a lot of rings going to go out in a couple of waves here. Yeah, tonight we've got about 82 rings going out today and another 200 plus coming in a few weeks.
That's unbelievable. Well, it is exciting. I know it's exciting for you guys and everybody associated with the organization, and it is the tough thing to do when it comes to sports to repeat. So, but this team looks poised and ready to do it. Yes, Courtney.
And a hell of a birthday party for Brad Stevens.
A hell of a birthday party. I don't know what it is. Is he 29 or what? He looks like he's 29, but he's brilliant. You guys, by the way, have been supportive all the way along for years and years, decades, and we appreciate it. You're the voice of the fan as far as I'm concerned, and I listen to what you guys have to say and what your callers and the comments have to say. I care a lot about you guys and appreciate all the support, and let's go celebrate tonight.
All right, Wyc. Can't wait. If you see Wiggy and I on the way in,
Yes.
you just kind of push us through the back door.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
Pathetic. Congrats, Wyc.
See you guys. Nice talking to you. Thanks a lot.
All right. There you go.
That is it.
That is Wyc Grousbeck.
Repeat city.
Yep.
Repeat city. Doesn't expect. We always have expectations of our teams. Every year we did it with the Bruins Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
But I think with the Celtics, it's hands down, winning the chip. I don't think there's a team that's even on the same level as them.
Yeah.
What do you think of Mazzulla as a coach, Wig?
I think he's spectacular. Love Mazzulla. And I wasn't a huge Mazzulla fan.
I know. You're one of his biggest detractors.
But after his first season, we all wanted his job.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge Mazzulla fan. I was on the Ime train.